Waking up is something we take for granted. But what if the first thing you saw when your eyes opened was pure darkness? No light, no sound, just cold wood and dirt pressing down above you. In 2019, a 14-year-old girl named Lacey Park was found buried alive in a sealed coffin. No one knows who put her there. No one knows how she survived. And what she remembers is far worse than what she doesn't. Lacey was an ordinary teenager from a quiet suburb in Michigan. Smart, well-behaved, rarely went anywhere without texting her mom first. On the night of September 19th, she went to bed around 9:30 p.m. after FaceTiming her best friend. By morning, she was gone. Her parents found her bedroom exactly how she left it. Blanket pulled up, phone on the nightstand, window locked. No forced entry. The police arrived and launched a full-scale search. Neighbors were questioned. Drones scanned the nearby woods. Dogs traced her scent down the hallway, and then it just stopped, like she'd vanished into thin air. 4 nights later, just before dawn, a groundskeeper at Hillcrest Cemetery was doing rounds when he heard something. It sounded like crying, faint, muffled, coming from beneath the earth. At first, he thought he was losing his mind. But as he approached plot 43B, the sound got louder. He called 911. Within 20 minutes, responders were digging, and then they found a coffin. Small, wooden, no name, no plaque, no grave marker. When they pried it open, they found Lacey, alive, eyes wide, hands bleeding, and screaming. The autopsy team, brought in not for death, but for investigation, was shocked. There were scratch marks on the inside lid, fingerprints, and the word STA carved over and over into the wood using her fingernails. She had bruises on her arms and face, but no signs of sexual assault. No drugs in her system, no head trauma. She hadn't been fed or watered, but her vitals were stable, unnaturally stable. She should have died from dehydration, but somehow she hadn't. When the police asked her what she remembered, she stared blankly for nearly 72 hours. Then whispered, "He was down there with me." Hillcrest Cemetery is old but has surveillance cameras. The tapes were pulled. From 1200 AM to 1600 AM, the time when Lacey would have been buried, the cameras glitched. Every feed showed static. When playback resumed, the grave appeared freshly covered. No truck, no people, no digging equipment, just done. And in exact reverse order, as if something buried her from beneath. Detectives brought in digital forensics. They enhanced the corrupted footage. In one still frame, during the static burst, there is a face, blurred, unclear, but unmistakably smiling. After therapy, medication, and weeks in silence, Lacey began to speak. But her version of events didn't make sense. She claimed she woke up underground, couldn't breathe, couldn't scream, and then she wasn't alone. She said a man was already inside, not alive, but watching her, face to face, inches away. And every time she screamed, he whispered back, "You'll be safe if you stay still. They only dig up the loud ones. You're not the first." She said he never moved, but his eyes blinked, and when she cried, he cried too, but his tears ran up his face. The town erupted with theories. Some said it was a failed abduction. Others believed it was a sick ritual, some underground cult, but the authorities hit dead ends. The coffin had no manufacturer marks, no DNA, no traceable wood source. No one reported seeing anything unusual near the cemetery. And strangest of all, there were no fingerprints on the outside of the coffin lid. Not even Lacey's. Like it had been sealed from the outside by something with no hands. 3 months later, a boy named Carter James, age 13, went missing from a nearby town, gone from his room. No struggle, just like Lacey. Authorities widened the search, but he was never found. Except on one of Lacey's therapy drawings, made weeks before Carter vanished. She drew 2 people in a coffin. One of them looked exactly like Carter. Lacey and her family moved states within the year. She doesn't speak about the coffin anymore. She no longer draws. She won't sleep unless there is dirt under her bed. And every September 23rd, on the anniversary of her discovery, cemetery staff at Hillcrest report the same thing: a child's voice, faintly crying from beneath plot 43B, and the grass, freshly turned. Even though no one has been buried there since. The grave marker now reads, "Reserved," and no one knows who put it there, or what it is waiting for. So who or what buried Lacey Park, and who is next? If you ever find yourself walking alone through a cemetery, and hear crying underground, do yourself a favor. Don't dig. Because not everything buried wants to be found.